Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy. We're here with Roark from Survivor, Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers.
Hi, Roark.
Hi.
Thanks for speaking with us today.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure. How are you?
Good.
Doing good.
Tell us how you were chosen to be on Survivor.
I just applied. I sent in a video over, the interwebs, into the ether, and thought, well, this was silly. I'm never going to hear anything. And then I did. And it was about a year-long process because I applied sort of off-cycle. What's funny is actually that myself, Allie, Joe, Ryan, and Devin were all at casting 1 year ago this week. So,
Wow.
The rest is history.
Was that the first time you had applied?
It is, yeah.
Wow.
So what did you do to prepare once you found out you were going to be on?
So, I already was a really big fan, and so I felt like I definitely had a grasp on the show. I was confident in that aspect. I already have a pretty exhaustive workout routine, so I had confidence in my physical abilities. It was tricky because I'm in graduate school, and so I had to receive permission to essentially miss the last month of classes, including finals. And so we don't find out that we're going with a ton of notice. And so I was taking finals, writing papers in basically a 2-week period, while also trying to still have all my therapy clients and all this stuff. And so it was quite a hectic time. And so, a bunch of people were giving me advice, go to survival school, go learn how to make a fire. And I was like, I don't have time. I have to write a paper. So, I had to do a whole bunch of legwork to make my life amenable to this experience. And that was honestly probably the most preparation. That was probably the preparation I had to do most. But yeah, I did some reading about kind of interpersonal dynamics, making good impressions. It sounds like cheesy and silly, but I just made sure I had a couple mantras, just go with the flow. Don't stick your neck out. Follow the vibe. My little rhyme was follow the vibe of the tribe. I had a couple little mantras that I developed in preparation, but other than that, really nothing like taking a class in fire building or anything like that.
How did you feel about being put on the Healers tribe?
The Healers, we loved each other so much. My best memories are from being on Healer Beach. I think probably any player will tell you that there's just something really special about that first group. And I have never laughed harder than I did on those, first 9 days. Just the stories people would tell, I was dry heaving sometimes with laughter. It really was a special time to be with them. And, I would never rebuff somebody who called me a healer. I think that totally aligns with how I'm dedicating my life, and all of us felt, pretty honored to sit under that moniker. It was not a bad tribe at all. I really liked it.
Can you tell us a little more about that tribe and how they were playing the game?
Yeah, since we never had to go to tribal, I always say that Healers was like an adult summer camp where we were just hanging out at the beach, swimming out to rocks, fishing, doing backflips off of the raft. We were just having a great time. I think there's a secret scene with Desi where she said, coming out here, I never would have said that Survivor was easy, but I'm on vacation right now. And that's really what it was. And so we never had to be kicked into game gear. And you never want to I was definitely trying to do things. For example, I was desperately trying to get Cole to throw a challenge because I really did not want to go into the swap 6 strong. That made me very uncomfortable. Just from watching the show, I'm sure you guys know, going into 6 strong is not how you stay alive. You stay alive by kind of whittling down your numbers and then finding cracks in the bigger group. And so I was trying to say, one of my strategies was to say to Allie and Ryan, hey, there are cracks. I would love to work with you. Please help me, save me. Unfortunately, that was one of the things that just didn't work out. But no, the Healers dynamic was, we were just having a great time, and I'm sure we would have gotten the job done if we had gone to tribal, but we had the luxury of just hanging out for 9 days.
So who did you want to get rid of on the Healers tribe?
Definitely it would have been a man. If we had lost the very first challenge, it probably would have been Dr. Mike, just because Joe had such a strong conviction against to Dr. Mike that within the first 3 days, you're not going to, like, stick your neck out and fight Joe on who to vote out. You know, like, that's just not good gameplay, so I would have gone with it, even though I really had a good relationship with Dr. Mike and would have loved to move forward with him. Then, of course, as the longer your team survives as a whole team, the target starts to shift, and you guys saw Cole suggesting blindsiding Joe, so that was an option. But Desi and I were really uncomfortable with the Cole-Jessica thing, and so Desi and I were attuned to that, and I would hope that Jessica would have, you know, on healers, that Jessica would have had the sort of, you know, shark-like killer instinct that you have to have on Survivor to cut Cole. I hope that she would have seen that. So it definitely would have been a man. Depending on which day we go, it could change which man.
Did Cole tell you where they found Joe's idol?
Yeah, so Cole actually told me first. He told me at the well one day, and he told me exactly how it happened. Because I was like, why did you find it together? And he said, you know, Joe misinterpreted the clue. It was on this tree. It was like, so I knew. I luckily knew the whole mechanism, which was really nice, and that was some good information to have. But yeah, no, I was, you know, knowing where the idol is second best to having it by yourself. And so at least then you know kind of what to look for.
Did you search for the idol after the swap to see if they'd hidden another one?
Yeah, especially after the tribal where Alan went home. The issue was, I mean, Ryan is a super fan as well. Chrissy is enough of a fan to know that idols are reset, and same with Allie. And so the four of us, there was no chance anybody was going to get alone time. After Joe's tribal where he played it, there was really no opportunity. On a 5-person tribe, there's no alone time. You are constantly in pairs or trios, or all 5 of you are sitting around together. It's really, really difficult to break out by yourself and actually get a good search going.
We want to get your assessment of your new tribe mates and how you think they were playing the game. Let's start with Allie.
I mean, as you guys can see, Allie has a great head on her shoulders. She is she's a great social player, she's a great strategic player, and she's great in challenges. I mean, Allie is a really wonderful, like, well-rounded player that I think has tons of potential.
What insights can you give us on Chrissy?
I mean, Chrissy is incredibly smart. I think she is possibly the best puzzle solver that the show has seen. She is just fantastic. Like, our strategy on the grid puzzle was to specifically have her watch us. Like, we didn't have her moving the blocks around. We had her watch us, and we said, like, use your, like, puzzle mind bird's eye view to tell us what to do. We will just be your little worker bees. You tell us what to do. And so she has a great mind. She's super smart. And, you know, she's an ambitious, powerful lady.
Where does JP figure in all this?
JP knows how to play to his strengths. He is an amazing provider. He's an amazing leader. You don't hear it during the challenges, obviously, because, you know, Jeff is narrating. But during those challenges, he was just, like, guiding us through them. And you see it in the most recent one where he carried all 3 of those rice bags across the beam. He was just, like, an incredible physical leader.
And Ryan?
Ryan is amazing. I adore Ryan. He and I have a lot in common in the real world. And I have a lot of affection for Ryan personally. I think, like, he knows this game, and, like, he knows how to think about Survivor. Like, his head is built for this game.
Did you talk strategy with Ryan or JP at any point?
Yes, I did. I didn't spend enough time with Ryan because I think Ryan was worried that I would pull Allie in, and then I would just return to Desi and Jessica, and it's funny, like, I had never stated an All-Girls Alliance plan, but Ryan sort of thought a couple moves ahead and was like, this could happen. And so he was wary of that, and I wish that I had sat down with him and given each other the opportunity to hash out really what our vision was moving forward. I don't think that changes my outcome. I think the situation of me being one of 6 healers alone, plus the bond from that super idol gift that Ryan gave Chrissy, those things just really made had sort of the world against me. I don't really think there was a way I was getting out of Swapped Soko alive, frankly, but I do wish I had spent more time speaking to Ryan one-on-one.
How did you think that vote was going to go going into Tribal? What were you expecting?
So the idea that Allie and I had been sold was that it would be 3 votes Chrissy with me, Allie, and Ryan, and then 2 votes against Ryan coming from Chrissy and JP, which is the plan that Chrissy said to me on the logs that you guys saw.
And was there anything else interesting discussed at Tribal that we didn't get to see?
You know, you saw a lot of us you saw a lot of us just mixing it up. I definitely think that captured the larger story of what was going on. It was a lot of that. One of the things like Chrissy said to me around camp was, "You remind me so much of myself." And then in Tribal proceeded to say that she felt like she didn't relate to anybody because she was older. And I called her out in that moment and said, "You literally just said, I remind you of you. How is that not relating?" And, you know, so it was just a lot of back and forth. Allie had some good points. Ryan had some good points. We really mixed it up that night. It was an exciting Tribal.
Why do you think Chrissy said I outsmarted Miss Smarty Pants when she cast her vote?
Well, I mean, she bested me by voting me out, and she did not enjoy me out there. She did not enjoy having me around camp, and that's her choice. I wonder what it would be like if we met in the real world, because I think on paper she and I have a lot in common, but in that moment in time, in that situation, there was no bridge to be built between Chrissy and I.
Yeah, because the Miss Smarty Pants sounded personal.
Yeah, I definitely think, I mean, her decision was absolutely strategic, and I think it also just, the fringe benefit was that it was personal.
Did it come out that Chrissy told JP that you wanted an all-woman alliance?
I did not know that was the sort of threat that she had used to pull JP in, because I knew that JP liked me as a person, as a person in the world, not just as somebody to work with. I knew that he enjoyed me. We got along well. But I think what got JP is that I said to Ryan and Allie that I was more comfortable moving forward with JP because JP did not seem to be generating a lot of game ideas. You know, he would be very manageable, very easy to be kind of like pulled into a plan instead of him trying to generate his own plans and swing around and flip, etc. Whereas Chrissy was clearly there to play, and full respect for that. But it made sense for me to say, I think we can move forward with JP. And so then obviously I did not account for the Ryan Heroes relationship. And so Ryan told JP that I found JP to be manageable, and I think that hurt JP's feelings more than the Girls Alliance issue.
We want to get some clarification on that last immunity challenge. Did it have to be 3 different people getting It did?
That's good. Yeah.
Okay, because we thought we heard you suggesting maybe Allie could go back in for Chrissy at some point after she...
Yeah. I think that might have been a weird timing splice where I think they might have shown Allie getting it and then something I said from early, I think it just got edited a little funky.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, people could not go back in.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
What did you see on TV that surprised you the most?
I would go all the way back to episode 1 and say that none of us were on the platform when Chrissy threw up. We never, no healer nor hustler saw that occur.
Oh, interesting.
Was there anything you wish had been shown about you on the show that didn't get aired?
I would say that, of course, all of us did this, and we want all of us who go out there are probably narcissists to some degree, and we all want our individual stories to be told, but I recognize that my story is just a capsule in a larger story, and I'm just happy that in watching the show, I recognize myself. All of those are facial expressions I make. All of those are things I would say again. I'm not ashamed. I'm very proud of how I go out. I have no negative things to say about my portrayal or my screen time or anything like that.
Did you have any injuries while you were out there?
Oh, that's a good question, too. Actually, something that happened right before I got voted out. When the healers won that fishing reward, one of the things in it was a deboning knife. And our machete is super dull because obviously you're using it a bunch and they don't want you to hurt yourself. So it's pretty dull. But this fishing knife was no joke. This was a real knife. And we would use it for cooking because it was so much easier than the machete. And I was balancing a piece of food on my knee and cutting down through it. And I just I cut a line all the way up my thigh. And so I have a really, really crazy scar actually from the day that I was voted out.
Wow.
How has your view of Survivor changed after this experience?
I feel like I have even more enjoyment of Survivor as the Survivor team as storytellers, where, you know, watching the show and knowing what I know, there are all these little kind of like storytelling Easter eggs in there. The way they are able to weave such complexity, where we are 18 people on 3 tribes, where so much is happening every minute of every day, and they're able to tell everybody's story to at least some degree and just really do justice to most. It's really an accomplishment. It gives me a lot of respect for everyone on the team.
How has your view of yourself changed after this experience?
I would not say that the view of myself has changed exactly, but I would say that one of the things I've learned is that no matter sort of what you say objectively, you know, a bunch of people lied about their educational background or their professions or their, you know, financial backgrounds. But as much as you can insert one word in the place of another, like Ryan, like I'm a bellhop, not a law student, you know, like insert one word, but you can't hide, you can never run from who you are. Allie was really intent on trying to figure out. She would say to me, like, Roark, Ryan's obviously not a bellhop. What do you think he is? And it never bothered me. It doesn't matter what he is because we know what he is. He is smart. He is strategic. He is a social player. That's what matters right now. It doesn't matter if I tell people that I have advanced degrees. I'm going to come across as smart. So you just can't, you know, you can't hide from yourself, I would say.
What's next for you?
I mean, I have 3 more years of grad school in front of me. And so, you know, writing more papers, reading more books.
Roark, thank you for sharing with us today, and good luck to you.
Thank you so much. Have a great one, you guys.
You too.
You too.
Bye-bye.